Have you ever thought about how some jobs today feel like amusement parks? You pay to get in, enjoy the ride, but at the end of the day, nothing productive really comes out of it. That's exactly what many modern jobs like DEI, diversity, equity and inclusion roles feel like. Let's dive into why these jobs might be more about experience than sustainability. Think about an amusement park. You pay an entry fee, and in return you get to experience thrills, fun, or maybe even see the world in a different way. But while you're there, nothing you do contributes to building anything tangible or sustainable. You're there for the ride, not for the work. Now, compare this to certain modern jobs like DEI roles. These jobs are often funded by governments, grants, or corporations that feel social pressure to create them. The people in these roles may provide a unique experience, spark conversations, or offer new perspectives, but they don't necessarily produce anything lasting or tangible that keeps the system running on its own. Amusement parks exist because people are willing to pay for the experience. Similarly, DEI jobs and other government-funded or socially driven positions exist because there's a demand for the experience they provide. Companies and institutions fund these roles not because they generate direct value, but because they fulfill a need for social signaling or compliance with cultural expectations. In many ways, these jobs are like a form of entertainment for organizations. They help companies feel like they're making progress on societal issues, even if the work doesn't necessarily result in long-term, measurable outcomes. The key issue here is sustainability. Amusement parks can only operate as long as people keep paying to enter. Similarly, these modern jobs often rely on external funding or societal goodwill to exist. They're not self-sustaining. If the funding dries up, the jobs disappear because they don't produce anything that can keep them going independently. In contrast, productive jobs like building infrastructure, creating goods, or providing essential services generate value that sustains themselves. These roles don't rely on an entry fee. They create something that people need and are willing to pay for repeatedly. Just like a roller coaster ride feels thrilling in the moment but leaves no lasting impact, these roles can create the illusion of progress or change without addressing the root causes of systemic issues. They provide an emotional or intellectual experience, but don't necessarily translate into concrete results. This isn't to say these roles have no value at all. They can inspire or educate, much like an amusement park can bring joy. But their value is often temporary and dependent on external support, not intrinsic productivity. The problem arises when we prioritize these experience-driven roles over sustainable, productive ones. If too many resources go into creating jobs that don't produce lasting value, we risk destabilizing the system that funds them in the first place. It's like spending all your money on amusement parks while neglecting the roads and bridges that get you there. So why are DEI jobs like amusement parks? Because they're about providing an experience, an important one perhaps, but not a sustainable one on its own. They exist because someone is willing to fund them, not because they generate their own value. This doesn't mean they're inherently bad, but it does mean we need to think critically about how much we invest in these roles compared to the foundational productive work that keeps our society running.